Crowd, you might say.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just going to say, like, this is something we tried out before in NIP that, as you saw, no one in NIP actually had an armor. They all bought nades, they bought, you know, DZs, and this is something that we tried a lot before, and we noticed, like, okay, well, it's not really working to our favor. I'm not really sure why they went back to that, because we have so many solid pistol players that armor on these players can actually make a huge impact. And especially on this map as well, you know, you can have long distance duels and, you know, try to make them so they actually don't end up going to the side.
Talk us through the mentality in NIP right now. Having just lost the opening round against Planetkey, who will be saying what and why?
Well, for starters, I don't think NIP were really known for doing great in pistols. You know, we probably in the beginning of CSGO we had a probably pretty decent percentage of winning on pistols, but nowadays it's extremely low, especially versus teams that, you know, they are pretty good on pistols. So it's not really for NIP's side. It's not really a big deal. They're just gonna go and aim and try and win the eco now. And here you see, obviously, Swedish crowd delivers.
Driver picks up that first frag. It's returned, but Forrest has frag number 2. And the home crowd find their voices. And NIP a man to the good here. Forrest as well has collected that AK. Retreats back towards A, where he has reinforcements in the shape of, well, was Nakaleli, but no, Stavros helps himself to the frag. And Planetkey inch their way in. 3 versus 3. This has been a much more expensive Antigua than they would have liked, but Forrest with the headshot. That's 3 for Forrest. Can he go any further? No, but it's all on Alex. And he will get no further than exist. And the NIP fans rise to a pause. It's 1-1. NIP cancelling out that pistol round lock.
Yeah, and it was a great anti-eco or eco round from NIP. One thing though from Planetkey, they're on an anti-eco. They're letting NIP kill them one by one in the beginning. They lost 2 entries, and the whole reason why that happened was because Planetkey didn't go together. They did not help each other. So when NIP got the entry, there was no revenge frag, there was nothing. They just left him, and Force got an AK, and giving Force an AK obviously is dangerous. Giving anyone an AK in that scenario, especially when it's 3 versus 3, and he has an armor, it's dangerous.
NIP side will look to build up some confidence as this is the first event without you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that they're very comfortable with. Like when I was playing, Overpass was one of our better maps, and I can understand the veto that Planetkey did on Dust 2, because they had recently just played versus NIP on Dust 2, and it didn't really go that well. So I'm pretty sure Planetkey doesn't feel too comfortable on that map. So again, they probably took a gamble, removed Dust 2, and just like, let's just take a gamble on another map, because obviously Planetkey, they're not favored to win this. They're the underdogs.
How much, actually, it's the Planetkey side about to let's come back to that question in a second. Alex gets himself a frag onto Get Right, and NIP will see action once again here at the A site. It's going to be Forrest to get himself the first and second frag for the Ninjas. So next will probably both go down. Makaleli helps himself onto the action, and that now is, well, 1 of 2 I was going to say, but it leaves just Strug standing as he will go up and again it's Exist in there, and Exist has his eye on him. Second player comes around, and that will finish off the job, and NIP have the lead. So talk us through preparation and understanding of Overpass on the NIP side.
Well, I mean, coming into this tournament, they had 3 months or 3 weeks to prepare with Makaleli before coming into this tournament, so obviously they put down a lot of time. I spoke to Freiburg and all of the guys before the game when they were just setting up and stuff, and you know, Freiburg, he's been playing a lot, you know, he's here for blood. Same with Get Right, he's also, you know, a lot of Steam hours, and they've been practicing like almost day and night to come in here as prepared as possible. So don't get me wrong, they're gonna have a hard time versus some of these teams at this tournament, but again, you know, they're favored to win this game, and I just don't see them, for example, going out in groups.
And how much have you kept in contact with the team since leaving? Obviously, you left on very good terms. How much are you still interacting with them, from going from daily interaction to now?
Well, I talk to Freiburg the most, obviously, since I've known him for a very long time, and we actually live very close together. So it's one of the people that, you know, I was going to say I care the most about.
Makalele gets himself the frag onto Stavros. Next frag jumps past him, pushes in, and well, hold back. Looks to go for him. Struggs returns the favor with one of his own. NIP not having it all their own way right now, as Planetkey on this eco have themselves a frag, but having picked off the opposition sniper, there's no hope of them picking up the weapon unless they were to claim ownership of the A bomb site, which they're lining up and ready to do. There's the four of them. Lead that charge in. From NIP, they get one, but there is only standing up against three. And NIP convert that into a 3-1 round, and we'll move on to a Planetkey buy round. And we focus on NIP because we have the luxury of having you here on the desk. But let's talk Planetkey. What do you know of them? What would you say if you were on NIP? You would say, oh, we should watch out for. What would that be?
Well, I mean, I've been playing against these players for a long time, and they're solid players. Just that they've never really, you know, they're not a top-tier team. They can do some damage, but they, especially in this matchup, they probably need a miracle. And I think getting Overpass might actually help them. You know, I don't think he knows how these guys play on Overpass, and if they have a plan, then who knows?
This was their one shot. You get this opportunity to come to DreamHack, to come to Major, to take on the likes of NIP, LDLC, and so on. They must have had an ace up their sleeve, and if the cards, you know, are dealt their way, maybe they'll come up with something.
Yeah.
And it has happened, tournaments through the years. Team comes in super prepared, be it on one map or another. And picks off Stavros, dropped by Struggs, and we're going tit for tat on these frags. It's 3-on-3 as Planetkey will not go down without a fight. And it's the attack.
I think it's going to be a fake towards B and just have the bomb, unless it's going back now. Okay, they're going to choose to go back to B. One thing that is actually funny to see is that they actually haven't changed anything on their CT side, NIP. They just the way that they did when I was playing. It just replaced me with Makalele, and I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out later in the tournament when they play, you know, a team that has played us in this map before.
NIP pick up their third frag, and Nex has just 11 points of health and Exist will wait for him to come through the canal. The frag, Exist follows up, and NIP are cruising here. And look at the crowd, a full house here tonight. When I was trying to get in, it was standing room only.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom, I couldn't get back almost. There's so much people watching.
And what does it mean to be an NIP player here at DreamHack? Because you guys are just mobbed.
Yeah. And it's the same now. I was kind of hoping that it would be a little bit less now, but, you know, obviously...
now you're wearing that suit, I mean...
Yeah, that as well, and I hope for the people out there as well that I'm still considered to be a part of the NIP family, right?
But totally unbiased commentary, don't worry, guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say about Planetkey, right now on the first weapon round, it didn't really look like they had a game plan. They were just, yeah, they started off with a standard, which, yeah, I agree with, you can do that. But, you know, the execution-wise, they don't really, it doesn't seem like they really have that much of a plan. So I wonder if this was just a gamble for them going into this match. It's like let's just play this, and let's just try and beat them on our individual level. Nice shot there by Makalele.
Okay, he picked himself up ahead. I'm going to ask you in a second about the push that NIP did at the start of this round and their objectives there. Here we go, actually coming in towards that A site. And Makalele gets himself frag number 2. Forrest with 2 of his own. And now it is just Pijamas left standing, and he isn't standing anymore as Forrest selects his hat-trick. And there you go. The fans ready to roll. So talk to us about that push that NIP did. Is that something that they were doing in your days as well?
Oh yeah, we did. It's just, especially when you have an upper, you can just push up, because by the time that you're up in middle as a CT, the Ts will just come up from middle as well. So you can actually get an easy entry there if the opponents aren't ready for it. And that's exactly what they tried to do here. And just for a fact, like, Forrest is playing amazingly right now. It's 10 tries already, it's 6 rounds in. But I'm hoping to see something fresh here from Planetkey. Like, you know, do a round straight off the bat. try and catch NIP off guard with something.
Get Right extends a long way around the park and will be looking in towards that C-spawn to see if anyone's holding up. And in doing so, he's just cleared out an entire third of the map to where players are not. Forrest similarly takes a lot of information and a frag to the life of Nex, who'll go down. But now, Planetkey with a mountain to climb if they didn't already have one.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Planetkey this round either. They lost the entry. Yeah, short force is very low in HP. I think the best thing for Planetkey right now is just to group up together, try and hit a side, use your smokes to your advantage, at least get the bomb down. And try to cover this thing.
Planetkey with a slow, methodical push. They've got two coming around the park, and they will converge on that A site where they've currently got Troubley trying to clear out. Spies that nade and will tell them something as they make a four-man push coming in now. Get Right. Line back to the site will open up the shooting. As he drops down to 50 points as well. Stavros chimes in, but Get Right out for the count, and this is Planetkey's opportunity. They can move quickly, but straight under the end of Troros crosshair goes Stavros, and NIP pull back the numbers. They still retain that man advantage, and they'll try to retake cleanly here. Alexar with an insta headshot onto Forrest. Now go looking. Maybe the wrong decision there as Freiburg takes him down, waiting for him. Shrugs his step to the bomb, looking for the next one, but again Freiburg delivers. Troubley in that AWP are going to have trouble for time, but if he keeps hitting shots like that, he'll be all right, as he has 3 for the round. 4 would win it. The flash will do its job, and he will be diverted. Takes his head off, and that will be Troubley with a 4-man round. And Planetkey have their second round on the board.
Amazing round there by Troubley. He held that like a champ. Even though the bomb was planted pretty poorly, he managed to get 2, and then by the time NIP started defusing, he could just come in and kill the last guy. And one of the round, it was an extremely well played round by Troubley.
And what a moment for him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So NIP just reminded that this Planetkey side are still here and mean to do damage. But you can see again, look how far the NIP side push up early on in the round. They want to find out as much information as they can, as quickly as they can.
Yeah, and I mean, a way for Planetkey to actually punish them is to take long, fast. Flash over, have 2 guys rushing, maybe catch one NIP member off guard, and there you go, you got the entry.
Now, if you counter that, could you say that Planetkey's very passive and slow start is simply out of saying, well, we're not going to engage you at this point in the game, we'd rather take you together when we're ready?
Yes, I would definitely say that. I think they're very scared of NIP pushing, which is why they're taking it slow and methodical, which is also a plan that you can have, You don't let NIP get the entry, but at the same time, you're not getting the
first and second. Troubley and Stavros is back before Alexar can do anything, and Freiburg will be to pick up the first, for Alexar dispatches of him, but coming in will Freiburg to finish off the job, and Planetkey doing well, and someone's trying to have a phone call in the middle of a crowd, and never going to happen. NIP 6-2 up and looking good. And to go back to Fiflaren's NIP story, when you decided to retire, did you have any say in announcing Makaleli to come in as your replacement, or did they not consult you, or how did that all play out?
Well, they were talking about it, and they were trying to figure out which one would be the best replacement, and I think Makaleli is one of these, I wouldn't call up-and-comers, but he's been showing himself, and he's a solid offer, and this is something that I think that NIP really needed, or at least could use.
So Get Right at Makaleli, and time into the break. This will be easy for NIP as they clean out a 5-man lead. And that'll be that. And for Makaleli, he's got experience. He was at DreamHack Winter, played here this time last year. It's interesting. I mean, was it always going to be a Swedish player for NIP, given the talent pool that was there, the language?
Yes, I think so. I'm pretty sure that they would rather play with a Swedish person than to perhaps maybe switch to English, or have, let's say, I'm going to take an example as a Danish player, maybe coming in, they're probably going to have a hard time understanding that person. I like this, by the way. Michael Hill actually pushed down underpass here to try and get a...
Forrest does get himself that frag, but loses out, and we'll see. Alex R going straight up against Exist. He's going nowhere fast, though, and Planetkey will hold back. So, they have collected Forrest's weapon, though, with 2 CZs to go and a handful of nades. An opportunity for Planetkey if they can make a quick strike, maybe chance getting that bomb down.
Yeah, and they opted to save one more round, and I think that's a wise choice coming in from Planetkey, so they actually have the weapons, the arsenal that they need to perhaps smoke off a side or take a side.
On board with Strugs, who has Forrest M4. Nade comes in and he is isolated out, and Makaleli puts Stavros out of his misery. We're probably the only one to get a frag on Freiburg in the back of that site, and that'll be done. So, to counter again and try and bring balance whilst we have an NIP legend here on the casters, that's what is the Achilles heel of NIP? If you were suddenly to put on a German Planetkey flag, and what would you be saying? This is how you beat NIP.
I would hit A with smokes, molotovs, and flashes. I wouldn't need to do it slow. I would just be sure that I have my smoke set up, I have molotovs. Instead, I think they're actually going for fast B rush here.
Only Freiburg offering resistance, and how? Stavros goes down, and it'll be Exist to join the fragging, and we're at a 2-2. Freiburg and Exist going up against, well, it was Strugs, but Freiburg wants the final blood. And that Troubley has a full suite of nades at his disposal, still capable of causing some trouble, but the bomb down. Not sure whether Freiburg was aware of that as he left that area.
I don't think Planetkey realized that they had one extra person.
Straight up to the end of Freiburg, and he was there with Exist ready to double team.
Yeah, and you just take a look at Freiburg there. He's so focused. He might be happy that he just got 4. He saved NIP the round. But look at this spray, and then he also gets one more when he comes out here. And it was a great hold by Freiburg when NIP lost 3 entries. It was a 2-on-5, I believe, and just Freiburg turned that round into their favor.
And the scoreboard reads favorably: 14 to Freiburg, 15 to Forrest. And Planetkey with work to be done here.
Yeah, and they look like they're setting up for a B push again. They figured it was just a fluke last time that Freiburg, managed to lock them down. Perhaps, taking it a bit slower now.
And costing from the life of Troubley, who's in command for Planetkey. Now from we'll move in on this B push. They come through the canal. It's not working for them, though. Get right. Lining up for him. Picks himself up 1 and 2. Strugs has returned the favour onto Exist, but that's the only slither of hope they have. And NIP get themselves another round on the board at 10-2, and looking very comfortable.
Yes, indeed they are. And their CT side and our CT side was never really an issue. It's when you go over to the T side where this map is extremely CT favored, and if you know how to play the CT side, then you're gonna have a hard time at C, no matter if you're really good on the map or if you're quite poor on the map. But I do feel that Planetkey, they still need a few more rounds on the board in order to go in on the CT side, and I wouldn't say feel comfortable, but at least have a shot at winning.
Now, since you've given them the advice of go quickly into A, they've actually not taken it once.
Yeah.
Maybe they think you're double agent.
Well, I think they tried out now, and they noticed, okay, well, we tried it out twice, and it doesn't work. Let's just try and go. Let's try and go A one round.
And an opportunity there in the end pays the price. Next is there for him. Yes. Goes looking at Forrest, just doesn't miss those. Get right gets the next. Strugs and Alex are up against 4 nasty players and will go no further. NIP looking good with only 2 left in the half, and the home crowd rejoice.
Yeah, these two rounds, they're extremely important for Planetkey. They need to win these last remaining rounds in order to even have a chance of coming back as CT.
Is it harder playing at DreamHack as an NIP player than it is in any other event because you have these fans?
I would say it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. we love to play at DreamHack before because we know that the crowd is behind us no matter what we do. So I think it makes it hard for Planetkey to play a Swedish team at DreamHack.
Well, scoreboard would reflect that.
Yeah.
So, 2 to the good. And they would go on to take LDLC, and what a match that will be. We'll see how far this new NIP have come, should they be able to get there.
Exactly, that would be their first real test against a top-tier team. But so far in this match, they're looking solid.
Now, when you were a young Fiplaren, what type of experience were you taking from a game like this against a huge incumbent where you weren't favored to win?
I would just try my best and just try to go for something unorthodox, Try to do something that they don't expect.
To get dropped down by Alex. He didn't shoot first because he wondered how many players would be falling behind, and before he could, it was too late. Next is drop by McAlealy's office. Alive as well. McAlealy had to drop for second, but trouble he will in the end. Number gets one, follows up the second. That he had, but he won't get there. Stavros gets him. Poor assist. Comes in and fails him out, and the crowd going wild once more. Last round of the half, it is 12-2 in favor of the Ninjas. And from Planetkey, they've given as good as they've got, but have offered very little. Do you think that if we played a different map, they would have more to offer, or do you think that Overpass and just NIP in general are too much for them?
I think they had a game plan coming into to this match versus NIP, not to play the maps where they probably know that they're not going to win. So playing a map like Overpass or any other map that is not associated with NIP could actually give them the edge. But as far as for Overpass turns out, seems to have been the
Next, the last man standing on this half, and the auto sniper from Exist cleans it out, and clean bill of health for NIP as they go in 13-2 up at half-time. Now, in most teams, we speculate as to the role of the coach. We ask, what is the coach saying at this time? And, we would regularly guess. You can tell us exactly the role of the coach in NIP. What is he doing?
Well, first off, Peter is an extremely smart person, and he's extremely easy to work with. And he, whenever someone does something good, he's gonna let you know it. It's not gonna go unnoticed if you do something good. He always comes with a lot of good ideas. So let's say that NIP is in a crumble at the moment, and Peter would come in and he will give Exist some ideas on what we can do. Okay, I've noticed that the guys at B are weak. Try this round or do this. And this is why Peter, especially during a major like this, when it's very stressful as a player, especially when things are not working out, when you actually have a player and an ex-player and a person like Peter that can come in and put the guys in shape and just give him a few advice, and then you're ready to go.
And how much did he change for you when he came in?
He just pointed out a lot of things that we didn't know ourselves that we were doing wrong. Perhaps we threw bad flashes somewhere, or we threw bad smokes. He showed us new ways on how throwing these flashes, and and the thing is, when he shows you something, he actually gives you a good reason to why he feels that is the better way to go about it. And that is something that we actually really respected about him. Because if you just go and you tell a team or a player, it's like, you're doing this wrong, and you don't give a reason, you're not going to learn from it. You're not going to really take it into consideration the next time you do it. But when he tells you exactly how it is, and it actually makes sense, then you get to trust his judgment.
Interesting stuff. Now, as we go into this, we've talked about McAlealy and his experience that's come into this, and he'll be learning game by game in this new NIP role. What an opportunity for a player to go into Sweden's #1 brand in CS.
Yeah, and as far as this map goes, he's been hitting his shots. He's been doing well. He's been locking down whenever Force or anyone else on the A bomb site died. He was clearing the site for them, and he was making sure that the rest of NIP could actually rotate back and help him out. So he's been playing great so far.
Second half, NIP up 13-2. Planetkey thus far have been unable to dislodge their underdog's tag, but the flash and push pushes Troubley all the way out, who Did do some damage in that first round, but was an isolated threat that has once again been taken out. It's Forrest who will claim that first frag for NIP. Trouble with a fourfer that won Planetkey's second round.
Yeah, Planetkey tried to play a bit aggressive there to get an entry. NIP also played aggressively, and NIP got the better of that deal.
You can guarantee if Trouble makes a frag move, that fourfer will be in it.
Yes, for sure. And right now, NIP's just taking their time. They're taking it slow, and they're not going to let Planetkey do something that might disrupt the round.
Here we go. Nate tucked in on the A side, and following them up the T side. Next is going to get dismantled by Forrest. Cross goes through the smoke ninjas and finds them, and they pick him off, and now it's all on Strug as he comes around the corner. Forrest is he will go down. The chance to get that frag. Alexander will be picked off, and NIP pick up the pistol round, much to the delight of the home crowd.
Yeah, they played up this round just as any other weapon round. They had their smokes, they smoked off the A site, they went in together as a team, and Planetkey just shut down when they tried to retake the site.
276,000 people watching this, and the numbers just keep going up and up.
Yep.
Which, for as a player, does that number have any effect on it?
No, not at all. That's not something that you think about when you're playing. It's actually fun numbers to know after you're done playing, like how many were actually watching our game. And this is the first official game that NIP has in a LAN tournament. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see how they match up against the other top contenders in the world.
Sterner tests will await them. But right now, Planetkey's big day on stage has, well, not quite gone to the plan they would have had in their mind before they went to bed last night. So, you just had no confidence when he started firing off those shots. You knew that someone was going to jump out and fry it, and it did. Trouble will get himself two more, and he is more than capable of getting himself out of trouble with that CZ. Now Planetkey with the man advantage. Can they do anything about it? I think it's level numbers as Strugs is down to 19 points of health. The A side is about to be planted on by the NIP side. This is there, then Strugs gets picked off by Makaleli, and a combo of NIP players eventually pushed him into submission. Alexander will lead the charge back, but he's going somewhat one by one. The forces in shape of trouble were a little bit behind, and for NIP they were 3v1, 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 and held the side as a result.
Yeah, and that was the full buy from Planetkey, trying to win back the pistol round that they lost. It didn't really pan out. It looked good when Trouble got these nice two kills on the NIP squad, but then NIP just took over the A site and they managed to hold the retake.
Anyway, 13 match points. We can only see positive things in NIP's future. How much did the change and everything that happened post-Cologne affect just kind of the flow and the mojo of the Forests and the Get Right to the World?
I think that they started to enjoy the game a little bit more, because there's some fresh blood, you get some new ideas, and especially when it's a tournament like this, you want to show that you are still the #1 team, even though in Thorin's ranking they're number 7 right now, but 3 months ago we were number 1. They want to get that title back, and that takes time and dedication from the players, and that's exactly what they have put down here coming into this tournament.
15-2 NIP with a man advantage here in the 18th round as Alexara has been dispatched by Get Right. As NIP lay their smokes down on A, but are yet to capitalize. They've moved 2 players in position coming off the back of Park, and they will follow it up again as they lead the assault. Get Right gets the first right, Trouble goes down, and Strug going for action, but going nowhere as NIP get 2, and that leaves next the last man standing, and he will have a tall order. It's only 1 versus 5 and 13 rounds to
and the bomb
save.
is down.
Yeah.
He gets
First
one.
frag.
That's a good start, right?
He in that Mag 7. Point blank range, almost got into the right position to take on Makaleli, but it wasn't to be.